right, so let me ask you something. Do you find yourself standing in the kitchen after dinner, opening cupboards, looking for something sweet or something crunchy, something salty, even though you're not actually hungry? Because if that is you, I don't think food is the problem. And honestly, I don't think it's a willpower problem either. I think that a lot of the time it's a dopamine problem. And I know that one too well, because for years I used to think that I just lacked discipline. I would have dinner and I would be full, but then an hour later, I would be standing in front of the pantry looking for chocolate, looking for some chips, some cookies, maybe some ice cream, whatever was around, whatever was easy to grab. And I was always just thinking, why can't I just be more disciplined with that? But eventually I started to notice a pattern because it almost always happened around the same time. The day was over, work was done, the house got quiet, the distraction disappears, and I finally could sit down. And then suddenly my brain started to look for something. Not food, but stimulation. You know what I mean, right? Because ADHD brains are constantly looking for dopamine. And food is one of the fastest ways to get it. Chocolate, ice cream, chips, cookies, candy. Your brain learns very quickly that when you're tired, you want to eat. When you're stressed, you want to eat. When you're bored, you want to eat. You need a reward after a long day, eat something. And after a while, this becomes automatic. It becomes a habit. It just becomes your go-to tool for stimulation. And eventually, you don't even think about it anymore. You just end up finding yourself standing in front of the fridge. Here's a mistake that most people make. They try to fight this with willpower. And honestly, good luck with that. Because at the end of the day, you're tired. Your brain is tired. Your decision-making is tired. You've been making decisions since you woke up this morning. So it's not the time to start to rely on discipline anymore. What works much better is making the decisions earlier. For example, if there are certain foods that completely derail you, don't make yourself fight them every night. I know for me that there are foods that I just can't resist. It could be a bag of chips or candy, but it's food that if it's there, I'm gonna eat it. And that's just the reality. So instead of relying on willpower, change your environment. Make healthy options easier. Make trigger foods harder. Put them somewhere where it's more inconvenient to get them. Or don't buy them in the first place. I know it sounds simple, but simple works for us. And the second thing that helped me was just to get more curious. So the next time you're standing in the kitchen after dinner, ask yourself, am I actually hungry? Or am I just looking for dopamine? And that question creates a tiny pause. And sometimes that pause is enough, because awareness changes behavior. Not every time, but more often than you think. And that's okay. And look, your brain still needs dopamine. So the goal is not to remove it entirely. The goal is to give it other options, maybe healthier options. Maybe that's a walk. Maybe that's listening to music. Maybe that's just a hot shower. Maybe it's playing with your dog. Maybe it's a hobby you have been ignoring for the past few months. So your brain still gets stimulation just from somewhere other than food. And one more thing, make sure dinner actually satisfies you. I see this all the time. People eat a tiny healthy dinner, a salad and some chicken breast. And then they wonder why they're hunting through the pantry 2 hours later. Your dinner should fill you up. So focus on protein, add some fiber, vegetables, some quality carbs. Eat a proper meal, because it's much harder to manage cravings when you're genuinely hungry. And here's what I want you to remember. The goal isn't to never snack again. Honestly, that's probably unrealistic. But the goal is to understand what's driving the behavior. Because once you realize that you're not chasing food, but you often just chase dopamine, everything starts to make a lot more sense. And when things starting to make sense, that's when real change starts. So, I hope that's helpful. See you in the next one.